core values and why, basically the same in and of itself, right? What do you stand for? Why are you doing what you're doing, right? All too often, startup entrepreneurs forget to answer these questions. And the thought is, I will take any client that's willing to be my client. That could not be any further from a good idea. Now, I was having this conversation with Nat earlier. There are going to be some members that don't get what we're doing here. They don't like our style, and that's okay. There's no reason to convince somebody to be your customer. The simple response is, we will miss you. And that came from a lesson that I learned at one of those wonderful fancy business schools. It was by a gentleman named Herb Kelleher. He was the founder of Southwest Airlines. He dubbed this situation, Mrs. Crabapple called or emailed him to complain multiple times. She wasn't happy with the fact there was no food. She wasn't happy with the fact that she couldn't get a seat. She wasn't happy with the fact of this or that. And she wrote an email to Herb. And Herb's response is, Mrs. Crabapple was not the customer of Southwest. You have to stand for something. You have to know your why. You have to know your value, and you have to know who your ICP is. Otherwise, you're doing a disservice to yourself, right? Megan had a client like this, wasn't the right client, and she fired that client. That's a good thing. Sometimes you have to fire a client because if you take the wrong client, it's a disservice to not only yourself, but all of your other clients. Because that bad apple or that wrong experience, that wrong ICP or wrong customer is draining you from being the best version of you. And you are the product more often than not. And that's important. With that being said, let's begin to wrap. Just some reminders. Let's show some love, celebrate, support each other on LinkedIn and in life. I'm not telling you to be a pod. I'm just saying show some love for the people that you love. All right. Share, engage, inspire, motivate inside of our community. This is only the beginning. We are off to something really awesome. And Nat and I, our promise to you is we will constantly be improving and adding more and more value. Consider us your support. We are here for you. If you want to volunteer to be a ringleader, send me a message. Ringleaders lead the conversation within the ring. They moderate, they motivate. If you ever want to volunteer to be one, please reach out to me. Check for my post later about the calendar update. We will be separating it so you will have your own calendars and you will see your unlimited or your CA membership access from there.